So Surrey got the first opportunity with the ball, and it didn't take long to get in the book. Smeed picking out Will Jacks in the first over. Give Moriarty an early breakthrough. Smeed, an important man for the visitors, and just as it was about 2 weeks ago here, Jacks in the game immediately, herring around on the mid-wicket rope. Banton looked to reverse from the get-go. A couple of times he got it up and over the top of backward point. Hit 6 early boundaries. Rousseau was off the mark with a 4 himself, but the leading run maker in the blast in season 2022 lost his off pole 2 balls later, Jordan Clark, doing the damage just before he was ruled out of the rest of the innings with a side strain, but did his job. Bang. That feels good. Up and over the top. Banton and Abel put together a pretty useful partnership worth 46 towards the end of the power play, both looking to play that scoop and lap shot, taking advantage of the fact that third and finally were inside the circle. That was really nicely played after the field was changed to move a fraction squarer in response to the lap, but the more they played the shot, the more likely it was that it would bring one of them undone. Must be said though, Abel, that was class. But then he clothed one out to deep backward square. McKerr was under it, playing his first game of the season, and it gave Atkinson a first wicket. In off the rope at deep backward square. And I mentioned that shot would get Banton eventually into trouble, and so it did. McKerr kept him moving, saw him coming, threw it out wide of the off stump, and placed down to Atkinson. Gone for 39, top scoring in 25 deliveries, 6 boundaries, but the visitors really needed Banton to go on with it. Lammonby, for a moment, looked the man most likely. Nice big 6, indeed consecutive boundaries. That was a put down catch. The Kia catch went down for £1,000. Then the run out. Smith, the wicketkeeper, he knew what was going on. Lammonby didn't. Gone for 21 via a direct hit. See there, the deflection off the pad, completely lost the ball. Then, yes, no, yes, uh-oh. Bang, middle stump. The wickets continued to fall in the middle overs. Yeah, nice pair of hands there, Steele the sub, giving Atkinson a second wicket. Lewis Gregory, the England man, gone for 7. At that stage, it was 103 for 7 after 14.5 overs, and it really looked like the wheels were going to fall off for Somerset. Steele on for Clark with that side strain I mentioned before. Jordan's turn. And the ball hanging in the air. Ben Green gone for 5. Yes, that was the 7th wicket. Jordan bowled his first 3 overs for just 9 runs. He's been in great nick of late, the Surrey captain. McKerr did just as Jordan Clark did earlier in the innings. Van der Merwe bowled. Good partnership.
Well, Surrey was set at 145, and truth be told, very few in this ground, and there's a great crowd considering the difficulties we've all had to get here. Expected the drama that was to occur. Will Jacks depositing Peter Siddle in and out of the stands, and another decent start to proceedings from Surrey. Somerset dropped a couple along the way, but essentially Surrey were up and running. It looked very easy until Roland van der Merwe just showed what Surrey had showed earlier on in the piece. Taking pace off the ball caused problems for the batters. That was Jamie Smith, who departed. Sunil Narayan should have departed soon after, dropped by Goldsworthy, whose innings at the end of Somerset's batting first innings actually gave them a target to bowl at. It looked like it was really going to cost Somerset when Sunil Narayan deposited Lewis Gregory over the mid-wicket boundary, but then was caught 3 balls later. And that really slowed things up for Surrey. Suddenly run scoring became a fraction more difficult, despite a nicely taken 6 from Rory Burns, batting at number 4 for Surrey. But he was to fall soon after. Caught behind, trying to play to leg. A decent delivery from Gregory. who really was showing one of the reasons why he was recently called up to the England squad. Surrey was in control of their own destiny. Whilst they had Will Jacks at the crease, confident that they could haul down 145 relatively easily. Will Jacks continued, as he has been all season, his 4th 50 in the competition to date. And as we approach the closing overs, with the run rate around 7.5, it looked like the end of the game would be a formality. Well, it wasn't to be. This catch in the deep signalled a little bit of a collapse for Surrey. And with wickets falling and runs scoring difficult, despite Chris Jordan, who came to the crease ahead of Jordan Clark, who picked up an injury whilst bowling earlier on in the piece. It looked like the pressure was back on the home side, until Will Jacks deposited another huge 6 into the upper tier. Game over, we thought, as another boundary was found, this time by Chris Jordan. Final ball of the penultimate over. Surrey needed 7 wickets, and then things started to get really, really interesting. Chris Jordan opted against taking the easy single and holed out into the deep. With the new rules in place, that meant the new batter, despite Jackson Jordan crossing, had to come to the crease and face up. First ball, Nick O'Reefer clipped Peter Siddle away for 4 as the veteran Aussie straight down the leg side. But the very next ball, and that of the one that followed it, saw Reefer and then Atkinson clean bowled. What drama here at the Kia Oval for the final delivery of the match. It could have been a hat-trick. Instead, Conor McKerr slapped the Victorian through extra cover, past a despairing fielder, and away for 4. 4 needed from the final delivery. 4 was attained, and it meant that Surrey's unbeaten T20 record continued.